Type of coverage in insurance. There are three types of insurance coverage. Replacement cost coverage pays the cost of repairing or replacing the property with like kind and quality regardless depreciation or appreciation. Premium of this type of coverage are based on replacement cost value and not based on actual case value. Actual case value coverage provides for replacement cost minus depreciation. Extended replacement cost will pay over the coverage limit in the cost for construction have insured. This generally will not exceed 25% of the limit. When awaiting an insurance policy, the limit is the maximum amount of benefit the insurance company will pay for a given solution or occasions. Limits also include the ages below or above that an insurance company will not issue a new policy or continue a policy. The amount will need a factor in the cost to replace home in neighborhood is rising. The amount needs to be a step with the actual reconstruction value of the home. In case of a fire, household content replacement in tabulated a percentage of the value of the home. In case of high value items, the insurance company may ask a specifically covered 3 items separate from the other household contents. One last coverage option is to have alternative living arrangement included in a policy. If property damage caused by a covered loss prevents a person from living in their home, policies can pay the expenses of alternate living arrangement, e.g. hotels and a restaurant cost for a specified period for the compensation for the loss of use of the home until the owners can return. The additional living expenses limit can vary, but it is typically set up to 20% of the dwelling coverage limit. Owners need to talk with their insurance company for advice about appropriate. US property insurance claims World Trade Center case. Attack on the World Trade Center. Following the September 11 attack, a jewelry deliberated insurance priorities for the distribution of the World Trade Center. Leaseholder Larry A. Silverstein sought more than $7 billion in insurance money. He agreed to attack had accrued the WTC, its insurance including cub crop and swing restaurants claimed the coordinate attack counted as a single event. In December 2004, the federal jury arrived at a compromise decision. In May 2007, New York Governor Eliot Spitzer announced more than 4.5 billion would be made available to rebuild the Solo SR 65,000 WTC complex as part of a major insurance claim settlement. Post Hurricanes Katrina property insurance claim. New Orleans in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. In the wake of Hurricane Katrina, several thousand homeowners filed lawsuits against their insurance companies, accusing them of bad faith and failing to properly and promptly adjust their claim. Florida Consumer Choice Act. On 24 June 2009, Florida Governor Celia Chest voted the Consumer Choice Act. The bill would have trumped state regulation and allowed Florida's biggest insurance companies to establish their own rates. Remarking upon State Farm's pullout from Florida, Ted Flores, a property insurance attorney who has represented large insurance carriers like Nationwide, note that homeowners are really going to have to look out of themselves. 5 days after Christ voted the Consumer Choice Act, Charles defended property insurance deregulation by pointing out that if the blue chip insurance companies wanted to price themselves out of the market, then they would go out of business. He assured Christ of making choice on behalf of consumers, not protecting their right of choice. In 2006, the average Florida annual insurance premium was $1,386 for a homeowner, one of the highest in the country. Florida annual insurance premium was $186 for a homeowner. Home insurance, also commonly called homeowners insurance, often abbreviated in the US real estate industry as HOI, is a type of property insurance that covers a private residence. It is an insurance policy that combines various personal insurance protections, which can include losses occurring to one's home, its contact, loss of use, additional living expenses, or loss of other personal possession of the homeowners, as well as liability insurance for accidents that may happen at home or at the hands of the homeowners within the policy territory. Additionally, homeowner insurance provides financial protection against disaster. A standard home insurance policy insures the home itself along with the things kept inside. Overview. Homeowners policy is a multiple line insurance policy, meaning that it included both property insurance and liability coverage, with an indivisible premium, meaning that a single premium is paid for all risks. This means that it covers both damage to one's property and liability for any injuries and property damage caused by the owner or member of his or her family to other people. It may also include damage caused by household pets. The US uses understylized policy from that divide coverage into several categories. Coverage limits are typically provided as a percentage of the primary coverage, which is coverage for the main dwelling. The cost of homeowners insurance often depended on what it would cost to replace the house and which additional endorsement or riders are attempted to the policy. The insurance policy is a legal contract between the insurance carrier, insurance company, and the named insurance. It is a contract of indemnity and will put the insurance back to the stage his was in prior to the loss. Typically, claims due to floods or wear hose deficiency typically includes a nuclear extraction from any source are excluded from coverage. Amongst other standard exclusion like termist specialist insurance can be purchased for this possibility, including flood insurance. Insurance is adjusted to reflected the cost of replacement, usually upon application of the inflation factor or a cost index. Pricing. Major fact in price estimation include location coverage and the almost of insurance, which is based on the estimated cost a rebuild the home replacement cost. If insufficient coverage is purchased to rebuild the home, the claim payout may be subject to a co-insurance patently. In this scenario, the insurance will be subject to an out-of-pocket fee as a patently. Insurance use vendors of estimate the cost, including Corologic, Subsidiary, Marshall, Swift, Broken, Verix Property Profile, and E2 Value, but leave the responsibility ultimately up to the consumer. In 2030, a survey found that about 60% of homes are undervalued by a estimate 70%. In some cases, estimate can be too low because of damage surge. After a catastrophe as a safeguard against a wrong estimate. Some insurance offer extended replacement cost and once endorsement which provide extra coverage in the limit of raised. Prices may be lower if the house is situated next to a fire station or the equipped with the speakerless and fire alarms. If the house exhibited wide migration measures such as hurricane shutters, or if the house has a security system and has insured appropriate locks installed. Typically, payment is made annually. Perpetual insurance, which continued indefinitely, can also be obtained in certain areas. Covered perils. Home insurance offers coverage on a named perils and open perils basis. A named perils policy is one of the providers coverage for a loss specially listed on the policy. If it's not listed, then isn't not covered. An open perils policy is broad in the sense that it will provide coverage for all losses except those especially excluded on your policy. Basic name perils. This is the last comprehensive of their three coverage options. It provides protection against peril most likely to result in the total loss. If something happens to your home that's not on the list below, you are not covered. This type of policy is most common in countries with developing insurance markets and the protection for the vacant of unoccupied building. you.